Hi, everybody. I'm Kathleen Byram, and I'm doing part 2 of my jobs. It seems like I left off at when I was working for my mother, and I was around 21 at the time. And I joined beauty school. And I tried to go to school and help her at the same time, and it didn't work out. I ended up going up to Indianapolis and finding a job there as a billing administrator at Gardner and White. Billing administrator sounds more important than it was. I actually processed billing papers, and it could be quite hairy at times. It wasn't just a simple matter. Some files were like this thick for hospitals that we worked with. It was an amazing job that really taught me how to be more professional, if you can imagine me being professional. So that was a great job. And then I got pregnant, and I ended up taking my severance package, or whatever you would call it, and staying at home with my son, who was born in '89. Then I was just thinking about the other jobs I've done also while I was in Indianapolis, or when I was around 18 to 20 and married. I got married at 18, and from about the age of 18 to 20, I worked at Ayers at Lafayette Square in Indianapolis. It was a nice store. I lost that job because I couldn't do the job. I was a dingbat. And I worked one day as a telephone solicitor. We were hungry. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't force myself to call those people and get screamed at, and that's what happened. I got screamed at. So I didn't really start off doing really great in work, but I started working in nursing homes. That was a good experience for learning to work and getting along with people and everything. Where else did I work besides nursing homes? I got a job at the French Lick Springs Hotel as a night auditor. I loved that job. Loved it. And I could work at night, which was great. And then we started having trouble, me and Ralph, and I couldn't get to work. And I ended up losing that job. And Sean and I ended up moving to California with my parents. That's where I got a job at a place called Unisource. And it was the easiest job in the world, but it only paid $5 an hour. And this was in San Francisco. So that should tell you how little they expected of me. There was very little that I had to do. And it made me nervous. And I was very nervous about the owner, or the guy who ran the business. It was his business. I just found him incredibly intimidating, and I couldn't think straight, and I would make stupid mistakes. So I ended up quitting that job. And then I went to school there. I went to San Francisco City College. And I got a job there at the school as I'm having a brain glitch. A tutor, an ESL tutor is what I'm trying to say. I worked as an ESL tutor, and I guess I was good at it. They gave me they sat and watched me do it, and they said I was doing a good job, and I did that for a little while. And then I got a job in Pacific Heights on Fillmore at an award-winning bakery, and it was wonderful. And I was a sandwich maker, and I made $10 an hour, and I was thrilled. I thought I was rich making $10 an hour. I came from a place where the minimum wage was $3 an hour, not far beyond that time, and or before that time. And $10 seemed like a fortune. And then I got made manager, and I made 16, the most money I'd ever made in my life. And I had insurance, and I was living with my parents and my son, and they ended up wanting to move to Sacramento. And I was so sick that I had to leave San Francisco. I loved it so much. And I ended up giving my employer a lot of notice, and said that if they couldn't find anybody, I would stay behind and stay with someone while I worked there for him until he could find a replacement. And he didn't take advantage of that. He went ahead and let me go after my time that I gave him, and he wrote me the best letter of recommendation. And he was a tough boss. He was tough. And he wrote me a really nice letter, and I just was blown away that he did that. I didn't think he was going to. And then I went to Sacramento, and I got a job as a courier, working through the Napa stores. And that was great. I really was good at that, and I felt appreciated by people. I really liked it. And then, what happened after then? That was when I had my breakdown and ended up in the hospital and ended up on disability. And that is the tale of my resume. I hope more than one person watches this. I'm Kathleen Byram, and I'm the author of Conversations with Donkey, A Bipolar Journey. And I hope you enjoyed listening to this. I enjoyed telling you. Thank you. Bye-bye.